What's going on, guys? It's Justin here with Summit Racing, back for another one of our Toolbox Hero videos, where we show you the latest, greatest, and must-haves for your toolbox to make your time in the garage a little bit more enjoyable. And what we have here for you today is the Calvan Tools Constant Tension Tubing Cutter. This thing is really cool because it has some built-in springs in the saddle, so as you're cutting tubing, you don't have to constantly adjust the knob. It basically does it for you. Now let's take a closer look at this tool, show you some of the features, and then we'll show you how it works. So some of the cool features of this tool is, as it said, it's a constant pressure tubing cutter. So it has these two little springs on pins back here, and the dolly or the saddle of the tubing cutter actually moves. So as you put a piece of tubing in this thing, you're gonna adjust it. It has a hard and soft setting here. So say you're cutting NICOP or this aluminum tubing, you're gonna go around soft, and then if you're cutting the steel, it's gonna take a little more effort, so you're gonna go to the hard mark. And you're simply gonna crank it down till the saddle moves, lines up with that, roll the tubing cutter around the tubing a couple times, and then you're done. Another cool feature about this thing is Calvan Tools also offers replacement blades. And they're really easy to change, as this pin right here has a small detent. So what you're gonna do to change a blade, you're gonna slide that pin out, grab with your fingers here, slide it, the blade comes right out, and your blade is removable. And you simply just grab a new one from Calvan Tools, slide it back in, put the pin back in, and it's good to go. So one of the nice things about that is you don't have to keep buying cheap tubing cutters and replacing the whole thing when the blade goes bad. You can buy a couple of these replacement blades from Calvan and have this tubing cutter for a very long time. Now that we showed you a couple of the features of the tool, let's show you this thing in action. It can cut multiple types of tubing, from NICOP to aluminum to steel, and we're gonna show you guys a little bit of that. One of the coolest features and what's really big about this tool is the constant pressure feature. So between our different kinds of materials and their different hardnesses, we're just gonna line up our line here on hard or soft, depending on what kind of material it is, and it's gonna cut all this stuff with ease. And the cool thing about this is you don't gotta spin it around and constantly adjust the knob. You adjust it to where the line is, spin it, and let it do the job. So the first one we're gonna cut is this NICOP, and this is the latest and greatest in brake line technology because it's not made of steel, it's made of nickel and copper, so it bends really easy, it cuts really easy, and this is a great replacement for most automotive brake line. Go ahead and slide that over the tubing. Put some pressure on this thing. You're just gonna wanna turn it until the knob gets snug, and you're not gonna wanna force it past that. And just like that, a nice clean cut. So now you can go ahead and ream this and put a brake fitting on it and install it on your system. Now that we showed you can cut NICOP, I'll show you can cut this aluminum tubing too. This is quite considerably softer. So, grab a tubing cutter, adjust it to where the knob snugs up. And just like that, right on through. So now that we cut through this super soft aluminum and this NICOP, we're gonna go ahead and cut some of this steel tubing to give this thing a little bit more of a challenge. Turn it till our knob gets snug and start cutting. Just like that, perfectly cut piece of steel tubing. So that's it for our Calvan Tools Constant Pressure Tubing Cutter. This thing works awesome when cutting aluminum, NICOP, and even this tough steel over here. It really takes some of the guesswork out of cutting tubing because it just applies the pressure for you. Make sure to like and subscribe to the Summit Racing YouTube channel so you don't miss out on any of the action. Make sure to punch that notification bell too so you know when we post a new video. We're always posting cool stuff like tool reviews like this, vehicle builds, celebrity interviews, event coverage, and so much more. I'm Justin with Summit Racing. Thanks for watching.